So welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Port Angeles on another beautiful Thursday evening. We're thrilled to have you here with us. If you're seeing this online, thank you for joining us. You may find the sound better if you use earbuds to listen to it on your computer. Please share any of our videos with your friends, and if you feel so inspired, find us on www.cslpa.org to find out more about us and who we are and how you can support this vision and mission. If you're in the area, we'd love to meet you in person, and so add us to your calendar for Thursdays. So this is our opening song, I Bless This Moment, right here, right now. I invite you to take this time as we sing to slow down, to let go of the day, to just breathe, and to have breath, and bless this very moment, whatever's going on. I bless this moment right here, right now. I bless this moment right here, right now. I bless this moment right here, right now. 'Cause this moment is all I truly have. 'Cause this moment is all I truly have. I bless this moment right here, right now. I bless this moment right here, right now. I bless this moment right here, right now. 'Cause this moment is all I truly have. 'Cause this moment is all I truly have. Let go of yesterday. Let go of yesterday because it's gone. Let go of yesterday because it's gone. Let go of yesterday because it's gone. 'Cause this moment is all I truly have. 'Cause this moment is all I truly have. No more tomorrow. No more tomorrow, right here, right now. No more tomorrow, I'm here right now. No more tomorrow, I'm here right now. 'Cause this moment is all I truly have. 'Cause this moment is all I truly have. Bless this moment. I bless this moment right here, right now. I bless this moment right here, right now. I bless this moment right here, right now. 'Cause this moment is all I truly have. 'Cause this moment is all I truly have. 'Cause this moment is all I truly have. Take a breath. Fall into this moment. So as we normally begin after our song, we're going to read our vision and our mission. We do this every week to anchor in who we are and why we do what we do. And sometimes I think a lot of times I think it's a good idea to have a personal vision and mission for your life. If you're a couple, it's a good idea to create one. Who are we as a couple? What is our vision as a couple? What is our mission as a couple? If we are an individual person, what is my personal vision, my personal mission in this world? I said a long time ago that my vision, my mission on this lifetime is to be love and light and joy. Light is definitely something that I am and that I have as my daily mission to be in the world. So I remember that sometimes when I get stuck or hung up in stuff that's going on, oh yeah, I got to remember I'm here to be light. What am I here to do? It's not to be something else. We'll get into that later. So, our vision. We are an open, safe, creative, and spiritual community where we experience divine love and connection every day. Our mission. Through spiritual, artistic, and social gatherings, we experience and express divine love. Our intentions create ripples of compassion into the world. And they do that. So I invite up Shirley Grace, our practitioner for this evening. She'll do our opening reading, a brief time of silence, and a lovely prayer.
Ernest Holmes, the founder of Science and Mind and Spirit, has written, "We must listen, learn to listen for this voice of the heart. Call it conscience, intuition, or what we will, it is there. No one need go unguided through life, for all are divine at the center, and all are images of the Most High." Join me in a brief moment of quiet to take these words into your heart. And staying in this place of quiet contemplation, I am so aware that all there is spirit, that central flame of the universe in which all lives and moves and has its being. This is true for me as well. I am one with the heart of God. We are each one with the heart of God, with that heart of wisdom. And knowing this, I claim and accept that basking in the glow of that flame of love, we open ever more to hearing its call, pulling us forward into God's vision for our lives and our way of being in the world and with one another. Being in that place of heart, we express our true magnificence. Life is so very good. I give thanks for this truth. I give thanks for our time together tonight. I give thanks for Catherine's music and for Reverend Tricia's message, which comes straight from her heart, downloaded from God's heart into our hearts. And I release this word into the law, knowing it is done, even as I speak. And together we say, and so it is.
I want to acknowledge Catherine before we begin our special music for tonight. I don't know how many of you recognize or realize that since she came with us, she's brought a lot of her music that we've played with and tweaked. And you've heard original music almost every single week since the beginning of December. It's pretty amazing. That's a lot of weeks for original songs. There's been a couple of times where we've done somebody else's songs, but very rarely. So this is yet another Catherine and Rev T original, because this one we definitely changed the lyrics to.
Connect us all, we are one. I am you and you are me, all is one. We want to believe unity is true. Listen inside your heart, it's there for you. It's saying joy and pain connect us all. you and you are me, all is one. It's stillness, the voice within is calling you. Embrace your heart of truth, expand your view. We're saying joy and pain connect us all. We are one. I am you and you are me. All is one. Joy and pain connect us all. We are one. I am you and you are me. All is one. All is one. All is one. All is one.
Joy and pain connect us all. Now you notice we didn't say joy and suffering. Pain and suffering are different. We've all got pain as human beings. We have all kinds of different pain. We have mental pain and emotional pain and physical pain because we're human. But it doesn't mean we have to suffer. But it connects all of us. The fact that we can recognize each other's joys and that we can recognize each other's pain helps us be connected, helps us recognize and realize how deeply connected we are. If we never had any experiences of joy or pain, it's going to be very challenging to find a connection with another person. It makes us not human. I mean, they talk about that with, some psychopaths, that they have no empathy. They can't relate to somebody else's feelings. And so that's what creates a psychopath. Well, hopefully none of us are that. I don't think you are, you wouldn't be here. So there is this connecting force, this oneness that we all are. And an important component of that, and a way to connect with that, is to listen from the heart. Is to really dive into that space, what we call the heart space. Now we know that the heart itself is an organ in our body that pumps blood. If you get very technical and medical, it is just another organ in our body. We're not talking about living from our liver or something else. In Chinese medicine, however, and in other medical practices, Ayurvedic and all kinds of things, all of the organs in our body have components within our psyche as well. So the heart is a very important instrument and a very powerful metaphor that we can use. I want to read something from the Science of Mind textbook that to kind of open this conversation that we're going to have tonight. This section is called "The Universe Holds Nothing Against Us." The universe holds nothing against us. No matter how many mistakes we have made, we are still perfect beings within. And the within may become the without if we will carefully train ourselves to listen to the inner voice of truth, which speaks to us in our moments of quietness and solitude. And there's more I'm going to come back to. What if we hold nothing against ourselves or others? We tend to hold things against ourselves. We tend to hold things against others. The universe holds nothing against us, but we do. So when we do, how can we take that journey back into what many people call the heart of hearts? How can we get back to that place where we remember, what would love do in this instance? What would love say? How would love be in this moment, in that space of the heart? How can we begin to listen to that inner voice of truth that is always present and always there, but sometimes it's been covered over with layers and layers. Your walls were high to keep the pain from coming in, but actually that traps the pain inside of us. So it's necessary to break our walls down, to let them become thin, so that things can come in like love and joy and compassion. Last week I talked about this thing called thin slicing. And for those of you that are recording was foobar last week, so I apologize for those of you that are watching this and you're, what's thin slicing? Also, I'll review just for a moment. So we talked last week about this knowing, this intuitive knowing that is different from what Malcolm Gladwell termed, and he probably got it from somewhere, thin slicing. Thin slicing is where we're looking through the world with a very narrow point of view. We think that what we know in our limited viewpoint is all there really is. And so we make judgments about people and situations based on a very narrow range of information. That's not intuition, and I talked about that a little bit last week. So I want to come back to that idea that listening from our heart is about that intuitive knowing that often is inexplicable. We can't explain it to others, why we just know what we know in that heart of hearts, that space. But it's because our intuition works not in a narrow, thin slicing way, but in this hugely expanded view of the universe and the world. It's taking in, your intuition, unbeknownst to us, is taking in information from everywhere. Everywhere. And so these little coincidental conversations and chance meetings and serendipitous moments are this intuitive voice from within us speaking to us and drawing to us those things that are most beneficial for us. When we train ourselves to pay attention, as it says here, training ourselves to listen to that intuitive voice. My intuitive voice, I'm talking about the heart today, but I gotta say my intuitive voice is in my stomach. It tends to know. But they also have said in scientific studies that there are these things in our belly. You talk about having a gut reaction to something. There are some, I can't remember what they're called at the moment, things in our belly that actually talk to our brain that have a lot to do with the physical sensation of intuition. So our gut, we have a gut check. Sometimes our gut does know. I'm not talking about Stephen Colbert when he was talking about, I just know it in my gut, when he was playing that character that talked about truthiness, which is something else. But this deep gut knowing that, again, is hard to explain. It's hard to get a grasp on, and yet we know it's true. Doing some research today into the heart chakra. So chakras are these energy centers in our bodies. And it's a little more well known when people talk about chakras now, or chakra energy. I want to do a really quick review. There supposedly are 7, and in other disciplines there's more, but I'm going to just quickly review the 7. There's the root chakra, which is all about our tribe and being safe and making sure we have food and housing and that we're okay in our tribe. We have the next one, which is just a little bit below the belly button. And that has to do with some other senses of power that we have in the world. We have this chakra, which is really in the belly area, which has a lot to do with personal power. We have the heart chakra, a throat chakra, a third eye chakra, and a top crown of the head chakra. So those are the 7. So this is what I found fascinating in researching about the heart chakra today. First of all, it's right in the middle. There's 3 below and there's 3 above. It is the center. I thought that was interesting. The other thing is that the Sanskrit word for this heart chakra is anahata. Anahata. And that word means unstuck. Unstuck. Isn't that cool? I thought that was fascinating. So the heart allows us to become unstuck. They talked about the heart as being a bridge between the lower realms of reality and the higher realms of reality. I call that the small r reality and the big R reality, because the words we use, the intuitive knowing we have in our great intelligence of our mind, and this openness in the crown chakra is all this lighter, what we would call higher energy. And these are the lower energies of our life. The heart is that bridge. They talked about it's the bridge between the masculine and the feminine. Masculine and feminine. It is the bridge between our human self and what they call our true self, capital T, true. The lower chakra of the heart also has 2. A lot of us have learned that the heart chakra is represented by green, but there's actually 2. There's the lower heart chakra, which is green and represents human love. Then there's a higher heart chakra that is pink. And that represents the unconditional love of all. And so a lot of spiritual teachers talk about finding the pink heart in the center of your heart. So just for an experiment, for the heck of it, right now, I invite you to just close your eyes for a minute and envision the area of your heart as green. Beautiful emerald green, like the Emerald City green from the Wizard of Oz. Like a beautiful emerald gem. And imagine that at the very center of it, there is this beautiful rose pink. That is the heart of the heart. That place of unconditional love for all. Take a breath. Come back. So, to get to the heart of the heart requires active listening. Active listening to ourselves and active listening to others. They're both challenging in different ways. I am these days making it more and more a practice to try to remember, I'm not even going to say try, I'm going to claim that I remember that when someone is speaking to me, that I stop and listen. And I don't try to go ahead and figure out what I'm going to say in response to what they're saying, or get caught on the first three things they say, and then remember, oh yeah, I want to make sure I reply about that. But I'm going to wait until the person gets, to kind of where it feels like they're done. And I might even ask, are you done? And then I'm going to respond to whatever the last thing was that they said. Because that's probably going to be the part that's the most important. That's probably going to be what they were trying to get to all along. But if I jump in, and I'm an interrupter, I come from a family of interrupters. In my family, the way you got to be heard was you waited for somebody to stop and take a breath, and you leap in, and you say your thing, and then you get back out again. So I learned really early on that that was a way to be heard. And I'm now discovering, in my later life, there might be another way to have conversation. And it's, it's fun and exciting to have that banter back and forth. But if I really want to be actively listening to somebody, especially someone that I care about, sometimes my husband will ask me about something or want me to do something, and I'm in the middle of things. I'm doing my thing, and I get impatient. I'm like, what? I'm in the middle of something. Don't bother me. And every once in a while, I go, wait, I love this person. Let me take a breath. Yes, dear. What is it you need right now? And usually, if I just do that, whatever it was takes, 30 seconds out of my time, and then I can go back to what I was doing. And it doesn't impact my life that much. And even if it's something that takes me away from what I was doing, I can choose to do that, or I can say, can we do that later? But if I'm listening, I'm going to hear that something is important to this person that I care about. And then that's more active. That's not just some kind of reflexive response that I'm doing. It's an active listening. Active listening is also what we do when we meditate, or when we do, in our teaching, we do a process called visioning. Visioning is where we sit quietly, we ask some questions, and then we just let whatever shows up in our little brain come out. Sometimes we'll write it on paper, and we'll look at it later and go, wow, isn't that interesting what showed up? Because that's a way of allowing that intuitive knowing, that what we call higher. I don't really always like higher and lower because it makes it sound like it's somewhere out there, but it's not. Maybe a different vibration of knowing. It allows it to come into us when we create a space in some silence for some other wisdom to come through than our limited knowing. Sometimes it's shocking what comes through, surprising. I never looked at it like that. I wouldn't have ever thought about that. So this active listening is a powerful practice that we can begin to engage in that really has us in that pink center of our heart. that space of unconditional love. The quote that Shirley read so beautifully, we must learn, he uses must a lot in this book. It's like musts and shoulds we don't always want to do, but this is an adamant thing he's saying here. We must learn to listen to this voice, this heart of the heart voice. Call it conscience, call it intuition, or what we will, it is there. No one need go unguided through life, for all are divine. All at the center, all are images of the Most High. We've heard that in some other religious things. We are made in the image and likeness of the One. And that is true. Because all of life is an image of the Most High. All of it. Our dog, the rock, the tree, all are images of the Most High in many multitudinous forms. So can we sink into the depth of whatever moment we're in? Sometimes we don't like the moment we're in, but if we can sink into the depths of it, to the heart of the heart, we might discover something new, something beautiful, something precious. There is nothing in the universe that wishes evil to anyone. Indeed, it is only as we experience good that God is expressed through us. The more completely we realize good, happiness, and success, the more perfectly do we express God, and the more of God do we become. That is, the more does God become personified through us. We are always expressing the divine. We can't help it. That's just part of what we are. And the more good we recognize, the more that goodness becomes personified in each of us. As the prodigal son returns to his father's house, so must we return, not with a morbid mind, oh, it's going to happen when I get home, Dad's going to kill me, but consciously and definitely, with direct intent and a complete concentration of purpose. Vision. Why am I going here? Why am I doing this? The journey back should be fraught with happiness. I love that expression. We don't usually say fraught with happiness. We say fraught with despair or fraught with something else. But I like this idea of being fraught with happiness. I might have to look up fraught and see what the actual definition of that says. Fraught with happiness and joyful expectation, for we shall be met with a smile from the universe and shall be folded in the arms of love forever. The prodigal son came back with nothing. Wasted everything. Slept with pigs. And the father welcomed the prodigal son home. Now we don't, in our philosophy, talk about God the Father. We don't personify God in that way. But the universe has always got open arms for us. Always is in the heart of the heart. Is always a big pink ball of unconditional love for all. Because we are all of its creation, all of its expression. So what would love do? That becomes a refrain. People, we had those bracelets on for years. What would Jesus do? In our movement for a while, a few of us made WWED, what would Ernie do? Ernest Holmes. So we walked around with those for a little while. So my question often to myself, and I might even have to make myself something so I can look at it all the time, what would love do in this moment? Not what would my pissosity do, or my frustration, or my upset, or my whatever, but what would love do in this moment? I'm going to read you a little story. There were two skiers crossing a frozen lake at night. Sliding through the snow with flashlights, they came upon a moose fallen through the ice. The enormous creature was stuck shoulder high, and it was clear the moose couldn't get out, and they alone couldn't pull it out. The temperature was dropping. So they stayed the night, and though the moose resisted, they covered it with their tent, settling in to shine their small lights on its face, and with the tent on the edges of the broken ice to keep the ice from freezing into shards that would cut the moose. In the morning, when the sun reappeared, they went for help, and together with their help, They roped the moose and slowly pulled it till the edge, till it could find its own way out. This is a powerful metaphor for how to listen to and be with those who have fallen through. This is what I love. Stay close and keep them warm. Resist the urge to prematurely solve the situation. If nothing can be done, sit with them and withstand the urge to abandon those who seem stuck. Offer your tent and stay till the way out presents itself, not forcing a rescue. Mark Nepo, who wrote about this story, said, "How I need to hear this, for life is long enough that we will have our not knowing what to do." How often have we not known what to do? And in our frantic, no, I don't know what to do, we just think, let me just do something. Well, sometimes the best thing to do is nothing. To wait. Stay close and keep warm. When I'm freaking out, the best thing that my beloveds can do for me is stay close, not in my face, but stay close and make sure I'm warm and comfortable. You got what you need? I'll just be right over here. Resist the urge to prematurely fix the situation. Oh, I am so guilty of that. I think I know how this can work out. I think I know what you should do. We always know what somebody else should do, right? That's so easy when it's somebody else. But what if it's not your job to fix it? What if it's their job to fix it or to let the answer come? We don't know what somebody else's path is. This is also powerful. Resist the urge to abandon the stuck. I've had this in my life, where I've had people in my life who appeared very, very stuck. And there was a part of me that wanted to just say, well, they're stuck. They clearly don't need me or my help. They don't want any of my advice. So I'm just going to let them be, and I'm going to abandon them. I would never use the word abandon, but there's a part of me that's like, oh, it's too much effort. They clearly are not ready for me. How many of us have said that, right? So, can we just let them know, no matter what, I'm just over here. Now, it doesn't mean we have to be in their face, or that if they're putting, bad energy on us, we have to stay in the presence. I had a friend a long time ago who was going through a very challenging time and was pushing everyone she loved away with both fists, because for some reason or another, she couldn't let the love in. And she was saying, nobody's here for me. And I remember screaming at her because I was so frustrated. I'm standing right here. I'm standing right here. But she couldn't deal with that right then. So I had to let her go for a while. And then later, but I didn't say, that's it, I never want to talk to you again. I just let her be. I didn't try to fix whatever was going on with her. I let her have her life. And then later, years later, I sent her a birthday card. I just had an intuition. Send her a birthday card. And I did. And I got back one that was filled with love and light and my friend, who I thought was gone forever. But she had worked it out on her own, her suffering, her pain, her situation. And then we were able to become friends again. Because I didn't keep trying to force it and make it happen, or get in her face, or try to fix her pain. That was a good lesson for me. Don't force a rescue, but stay until a way out presents itself. And sometimes that means we have to stay from afar. But we can still say, I'm over here when you need me, when you're ready, or when you don't need me, when you just want to be around me, when you want to hang out with me again. It's better sometimes to not be needed, right? To just be appreciated for right where you are, to not always have to be needed. I used to need to be needed. I don't need to be needed anymore. Now I just want you to enjoy my presence. Or not, and that's okay. Science of Mind textbook. Let not your heart be troubled. Love is at the center of our being, and the calm, continuous pulsations of life are governed by love. The calm, continuous pulsations of life. So whatever's going on in your heart, your actual heart, there is a place at the center of our being that has this calm, continuous pulsation of life and love, always flowing, always present. I'm going to invite us into a brief meditation here at the end. And this is a heart meditation. So I invite you to take a breath and close your eyes, if you're willing. Take another couple of breaths just to quiet your mind and to bring focus maybe to your breath. And I invite you to focus your attention on your heart chakra. Notice its vibration and its color. Whatever color you get is perfect. Begin to see or feel a pink energy beginning to form in your heart chakra. A pink energy right there in that center of your chest. As this pink energy forms at your heart chakra, make it your intention to release any unforgiveness you may be holding toward anyone in your life. Family members, friends, past loves, yourself. Mentally tell yourself that you are willing to forgive yourself and others. You're willing. Just be willing. Willingness can create a beautiful spaciousness. And now imagine this pink energy is flowing from your heart through your shoulders and into the palms of your hands. Just visualize it moving into your shoulders from your heart space, down your arms, and then becoming centralized in the palms of your hands. And I invite you to put your hands up as if you're shooting out this energy. And imagine this pink energy flowing out your hands and into the hearts of everyone, sending them rays of unconditional love. Like Spider-Man, shooting out webs of pink energy all over the planet and even beyond. Surround yourself in this pink light. Maybe go from the top of your head with your hands gently on the outer edges of your body all the way down. So you are surrounded in this beautiful pink light. Take a deep breath. Open your eyes whenever you feel ready. So I invite you this week to ask, what would love do? Can I dive into the pink heart of my heart, that place of unconditional love for all? Can I at least dive into the place of human love? To have a little extra kindness towards myself and others, especially our beloveds, whoever they may be. Take a breath. Listen from the heart. Thank you. This is our time for conscious giving. We do this every week. We are a center that believes in the give and the receiving, the flow of life. And we flow it in and flow it back out again. That's how this place works. So if you brought a gift, a tangible gift this evening, I invite you to place it on your heart If you have an intangible gift, place it on that heart too, that pink heart of your heart. We have a conscious giving prayer. We say it's in our programs. I invite us to say this together. I am open to give. I am open to receive. I am grateful to be in the flow of life through and as me. I'm going to do a little closing prayer before we get to our final song. So I just take a breath right here, right now. I dive into the heart of the heart, that place where the divine speaks so loudly, so clearly, with such strong vision and intention, through and as me, as all of us. I am so grateful for this gathering, for these beautiful souls, both here and through time and space. I'm grateful for my life and the way that it unfolds in just a particular way that is mine, and the way that life unfolds so uniquely for each one of us. I absolutely know the goodness of this powerful presence that we call God or love or source or energy. I'm grateful to know that we are all one in the heart of our hearts, and that more and more we are recognizing that on this planet in everything that we do. I simply let it go, knowing that my words are law as I have spoken them, that they go into the receptive mind of this oneness and come out in form, and I don't have to figure out how, why, or where. I just know that it is so, and I simply say, and so it is. Closing song is In the Name of Love.
In the name of love, with a heart of grace, overflow in us, decorate this place, as it is below, so it is above. May we always stand in the name of love. When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one. In the name of love, when the day is done, we will sing this song, all as one. In the name of love. In the name of love, may we always be seeking out the best till we all are free, living in a world we've been dreaming of, where we stand as one in the name of love. When the veil is gone, there's only one of us, only one, in the name of love. When the day is done, we will sing this song, all as one, in the name of love. In the name of love. In the name of love.
you all. Perfect,
Sorry
just as
about
it
that.
is. Because I bless this moment right here, right now. There's tea and goodies in the other room. I invite you to join us and to have a little bit of hanging out time together. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm very grateful. Good night.
And church.